Okay, Whoopi Goldberg apologizes for using a slur on The View.
It seems like Whoopi Goldberg once again finds herself in the middle of another controversy, and this time it seems like she's being sued for a lot of money.
You let them in. You let them in and you knew what they were. Right. So you are complicit.
And when I say a lot, I mean millions of dollars. After country singer Jason Aldean made some very nasty statements about her. It turns out Aldean didn't like what he heard, and this might cost Whoopi everything she worked hard for.
And I should have said cheated, and I used another word, and I'm really, really sorry.
So, what really happened, and is Jason Aldean really suing Whoopi Goldberg? Let's find out. Recently, country singer Jason Aldean has been making headlines, but not for very good reasons. In fact, he became the talk of the town because of his song Try That in a Small Town. After the song was released, it was immediately caught in controversy, and this is where Whoopi enters the picture. The news reached the program The View, where Whoopi and her co-host talk about the story about Jason and his song, and we all know that sometimes people can say very harsh things in the heat of the moment.
He saw people get, so I don't understand how he could be that disconnected, how people around him didn't say to him, hey, listen, you know what? Maybe there's a better way to do this.
Well, this is exactly what Whoopi did, but fans claimed that her statements were not accidental and were straight up nasty and degrading. Not to mention how she got the names and title wrong, viewers believe that her statements allegedly assumed that the song was questionable. She even proceeds by saying, you just have to realize that when you make it about Black Lives Matter, people kind of say, well, are you talking about black people? What are we talking about here? While she was already creating so much damage for the show and for herself, it didn't help that her other co-hosts, Joy Behar and Sunny Hostin, constantly criticized the song and labeled it deplorable and annoying, which prompted a lot of anger from fans. Soon after, viewers were calling them out, and some even asked if they apologized to Jason Aldean for not respecting his music. One fan wrote, I hope she is held accountable for her actions. She and the others on The View have been non-caring and one-sided and downright cruel. It's time to be held accountable. While another fan believed that Whoopi never learned her lesson and wrote, last time Whoopi apologized, she claims she was speaking only metaphorically and not to be taken literally. I am still waiting for the entire show to be canceled. But it turns out it wasn't only the fans who got upset because Jason himself decided to take matters to court and reportedly sued Whoopi. This was after a website released an article with the title, Jason Aldean files defamation suit against Whoopi and The View. I'm no racist. Based on the article, it was revealed that Jason Aldean is taking the advice of counsel and suing Whoopi, Sunny, Joy, and the other hosts of ABC's The View for $40 million in defamation. Yes, you heard that right. He is coming after the trio for $40 million after they slammed his song during the show. Additionally, it was also written that the 65th District Court of Writs and Motions received the complaint, which asked for damages from both the show and the people who labeled Aldean racist. What ABC forgot to remember is that free speech doesn't prevent Whoopi from yelling fire in a crowded auditorium. However, it seems like ABC is trying to wash its hands and has denied having any say about what Whoopi and the other two co-hosts said during the broadcast. In their response, ABC claimed they had no idea the show's hosts would be so cruel, but maintained that the show is protected First Amendment free speech. Yet again, free speech is not an indestructible shield. At most, it's a protection that has limitations, and this time, Whoopi overstepped the line. But this is only the tip of the iceberg. Based on the same article, Jason is prepared to make Whoopi know the consequences of her actions. In a statement, Jason's lawyer allegedly said, she needs to pay for her little stunt, said Aldean's attorney Joe Barron-esque. They all do. Their behavior wasn't just abhorrent, it was un-American. On the other hand, sources revealed that Whoopi is not afraid. In fact, Whoopi assured Cynthia Luhu of Alaa that she is unconcerned about a new lawsuit that she learned about through the Dunning-Kruger Times, the website that first reported about the matter. This is not the first time Whoopi was dragged into a controversy. In fact, there had been countless times when she apologized and yet repeated the same mistakes that she promised not to commit again. In the past, Whoopi also made uncalled statements when she called Kyle Rittenhouse a murderer. Of course, this has prompted him to threaten legal action against a host.
Whoopi Goldberg's on the list. She called me a murderer.
Rittenhouse said during an appearance on Tucker Carlson's Fox News program that he and his team had started the Media Accountability Project in order to raise money and hold the media accountable for the lies they said. He bravely announced that he is not backing down, saying, I want to hold them accountable for what they did to me because I don't want to see anybody have to go through what I did. Rittenhouse specifically named The View host Whoopi Goldberg, as well as Cenk Uygur, host of the left-wing socio-political news program The Young Turks. Giving more details as to his plans, he mentioned that, "We're going to hold everybody who lied about me accountable, such as everybody who lied, called me a white supremacist. They're all going to be held accountable, and we're going to handle them in a courtroom." He continued by saying that he had more famous people, politicians, and even athletes on the list of people he wanted to sue. This is not the worst of it all. In fact, there was also a time when Whoopi was ultimately suspended after she made a comment saying that the Holocaust was not about race. The news about the suspension was shared directly by Kim Godwin, president of ABC News. In her statement, Godwin wrote, "Effective immediately, I am suspending Whoopi Goldberg for 2 weeks for her wrong and hurtful comments. While Whoopi has apologized, I've asked her to take time to reflect and learn about the impact of her comments. The entire ABC News organization stands in solidarity with our Jewish colleagues, friends, family, and communities." And we all know that it's not something to be talked about lightly, which is why the backlash that followed was expected. It all started when they discussed a Tennessee school board that had eliminated the graphic novel Mouse from its curriculum. For those who do not know, Mouse is about the Shoah. The censors were made fun of by Whoopi for being more concerned with crude language and nudity than with the realities of slaughter. Most viewers found it concerning how she misunderstands the Holocaust and how her opinions are definitely bothering her. Other celebs also shared their 2 cents about the matter, and I guess it's safe to say that most of them were disappointed after seeing how their co-star behaves. One of them was Meghan McCain. In a statement on Twitter Tuesday, the 37-year-old Bad Republican author condemned Goldberg's remarks. "I hate commenting on my old employer because I have moved in every way a person can move on. That being said, I'm an activist against anti-Semitism and it is a big part of my life." She added, "The growing threat is real and virulent and everywhere. I am heartbroken about what was said." As a result, she issued an apology after being called out countless times for being insensitive. In the tweet, the actress wrote, "On today's show, I said the Holocaust is not about race, but about man's inhumanity to man. I should have said it is about both. As Jonathan Greenblatt from the Anti-Defamation League shared, the Holocaust was about the Nazis' systematic annihilation of the Jewish people, who they deemed to be an inferior race. I stand corrected." She also added that she supports Jewish people and has been constantly showing how she admires and adores them. "The Jewish people around the world have always had my support and that will never waver. I'm sorry for the hurt I have caused. Written with my sincerest apologies, Whoopi Goldberg," she added. However, her 2-week suspension was not enough to teach her a lesson because soon after, Whoopi was once again committing the same mistakes that got her cut off from the show in the first place. In a statement she made for the UK's Sunday Times, Whoopi insisted and said, "Remember who they were killing first. They were killing people they considered to be mentally defective, and then they made this decision." After hearing this, the reporter actually tried to correct her and mentioned how the Nazis actually measure people's faces in an attempt to identify them from each other. But still, Whoopi was not convinced and said, "They did that to black people too. But it doesn't change the fact that you could not tell a Jew on the street. You could find me, you couldn't find them. That was the point I was making." After getting called out once again, the cycle of another apology started. In her news statements, she defended herself and said that her comments were simply taken out of context and that she didn't mean to hurt people. "Recently, while doing press in London, I was asked about my comments from earlier this year," Goldberg said in her Tuesday statement. "I tried to convey to the reporter what I had said and why, and attempted to recount that time. It was never my intention to appear as if I was doubling down on hurtful comments, especially after talking with and hearing people like rabbis and old and new friends weighing in." Okay, I guess it was just so easy for her to say very insensitive things and then apologize as if it was the first time she was told not to. As a result, a lot of viewers were clearly disappointed in her and mentioned how the actress is not learning any lessons from her past mistakes. This fan wrote, "Whoopi always does this. Finally, someone will sue her for her reckless, racial, and irresponsible behaviors." While another said, "She seems to say whatever she wants, regardless if it's true or not. Please, she's finally being held accountable for her actions." So far, she has not commented on the rumors about Jason suing her. It was also clarified that the reports about the lawsuit are not true. However, close sources to the country singer say that it will only take a matter of time before Whoopi gets called to court and answer for her nasty behavior. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below, and make sure to give this a like and subscribe for more.